Hello, and welcome to the Aging Answers podcast. My name is Rob Faubion, and I am the Chief Community Engagement Officer for Age of Central Texas. We are a regional nonprofit organization right here in the Central Texas area that serves older adults and family caregivers. And one of the things that we do every month is bring you this Aging Answers podcast to bring together experts on aging and caregiving to help you in your journey wherever you are in your journey. Our Aging Answers podcast is sponsored by H-E-B because no store does more for older adults and family caregivers in Central Texas than my H-E-B.
You know H-E-B for quality fresh food at low prices to help you eat well. Now, H-E-B has primary care physicians and dietitians on staff to help you get and stay well. And because H-E-B believes affordable care should be accessible to all Texans, monthly memberships and cash payment options are available. Let H-E-B's team of highly reputable and experienced care providers help you on your health journey. Virtual and in-office visits are available. Visit heb.com/wellness to learn more today.
Today, we are going to talk about memory loss. And we are very lucky to be joined this morning by Anna Tutum. She is the program director for AGE's Memory Connections program. Anna, thank you so much for taking time to join us today.
I'm so happy to be here.
So let's talk about memory loss. You know, we hear this term often, and most people, including myself, is not really sure what does memory loss mean? And more importantly, is memory loss something that is a normal part of aging?
Well, thank you for starting with that question, Rob, because there is a lot of misunderstanding around cognitive change and memory loss. We throw these terms around, particularly in regard to memory connections. We focus on supporting folks who are in the early stage of memory loss, which typically means they're experiencing either mild cognitive impairment or the early stages of a dementia. And dementia is an umbrella term that could include most commonly Alzheimer's, but other types of diagnoses such as frontotemporal dementia. Mild cognitive impairment actually refers to a stage previous to any diagnosis of dementia. There's some subjective cognitive impairment, a little bit more than typical decline in memory and thinking that can happen with age, but it's not memory impairment. So our program focuses on mild cognitive impairment and the early stages of memory loss, such as Alzheimer's disease.
Thanks. And so memory loss is not necessarily dementia, but memory loss is kind of a precursor to the full development of dementia. Is that correct?
It can be, and memory loss is also not the only symptom. Some types of dementia, memory loss may not be the primary symptom. So cognitive changes is a term that we like to use with our programming because dementia can include problems also with language, with communication or judgment, not necessarily memory.
So the Age Memory Connections program was created about 10 years ago. And it was created because we saw a gap in services for folks here in Central Texas. We would have people coming to us saying, we just came back from the neurologist. The neurologist has diagnosed me with cognitive impairment, and they gave me a brochure and said, good luck. And I don't want to just sit around and wait until it develops into something that I can't control. What do I do? And so we developed the Memory Connections program to help those who are in that early stage, as you mentioned. So tell us a little bit about the Memory Connections program and how it helps folks who are experiencing or have been diagnosed with that cognitive impairment.
Memory Connections is a wonderful program that really comes into just that space that you described. There's a lot of wonderful programming in the Austin area, including our very own Thrive Center, for people who are in more moderate to advanced stages of cognitive changes. But Memory Connections really steps into that gap where a diagnosis has been recently received or someone is feeling those cognitive changes to begin and they want to be proactive. And they want someone that acknowledges that they are still a person who can do so much, who can contribute so much, and can take steps to ensure that they're on the best trajectory possible. So this program really comes into that gap and says, we hear you, there is a lot that you can do, and we want to support you and make sure that you are equipped to take those steps. The program particularly does that through our areas of providing evidence-based cognitive stimulation. We provide support groups so that folks have a space with others who really understand where they are to talk about the experience of living with cognitive changes. We also have a vibrant schedule of online activities so that people have a routine every day and a community to be a part of. And we are also really excited to add a brain health component so that you can learn about the diet, exercise, sleep, and other lifestyle changes that can support you.
You know, you mentioned that folks who are living with cognitive impairment can still do so much. And I think that is so important to say that, you know, one of the things that we are very proud of here at Age of Central Texas is that we meet the person where they are, and that we are serving the person, not their disease. And we use the phrase living with because we are not someone who has a disease. We're not defined by our disease. We just happen to be living with cognitive impairment. And so I think that is so important to point out. And you mentioned also the cognitive stimulation therapy. Now, that's something that's new that has been recently added with memory connections. And so explain what that is and why that is so important that we have brought that here to Texas.
I'm happy to, and so thrilled to add cognitive stimulation therapy to the suite of offerings through Memory Connections. We are the first program in Central Texas, to offer cognitive stimulation therapy, which is an evidence-based program. So this program was developed over 20 years ago in England at University College London. It's been tested in several randomized controlled trials, and it is a program that within a small group setting stimulates various types, various domains of cognition. So this is different from what folks may have heard of as cognitive training or doing a crossword puzzle where they are practicing one narrow skill. Cognitive stimulation therapy focuses on stimulating various cognitive domains, such as communication, spatial reasoning, planning, and hitting that at different directions to keep the mind really stimulated and limber. And does this in a social setting, which is the social setting in and of itself is a very important element. So we are just so thrilled to have trained with UCL and to be able to offer this evidence-based program.
And as you mentioned, this is the only place that is being used here in Texas. I believe there's 2 other places even in the United States that have been utilizing it, but it's the first time it's been brought here to Texas as a program and a resource for those who live here. So that is just amazing.
Yeah, we've been working a long time to bring this to fruition, and we're very excited to offer this to our community.
And, you know, that's just another layer of support that we have that we can offer. We mentioned that Memory Connections is just one of several programs that we offer for folks here in Central Texas, both for older adults and for family caregivers. And the cognitive stimulation therapy, it reminds me of that use it or lose it theory. That,
exactly.
Yeah, that if we're not using it, then, you know, we're not developing it. And, you know, we've mentioned before on these programs, the 3 things that you should do if you want to live to be 100 years old is socialize, eat well, and get exercise. You know, that's your magic bullet. And by socializing, you're using those cognitive skills, but having a direct program that helps you hone down into how to develop those, I think is so important. And that's just really wonderful. So let's talk about the Memory Connections program itself. So if I were someone who was joining the Memory Connections program, what would I expect? Talk me through what someone participating in the program can expect.
Absolutely. So they can expect to spend some time on the computer screen because it is a virtual program, but never fear, we are ready to come alongside and support that transition if someone has not spent much time on Zoom or video chatting. And I'll tell you what, I myself was slightly skeptical when I began leading groups solely on Zoom and thinking, can this really build the same rapport that I've seen in groups that I've led in person? And it's incredible. It really does. So don't let the fact that it's an online program steer you away. You will make incredibly authentic connections and friendships and community. But that is one aspect of our program, is that it is primarily online with periodic opportunities for in-person socialization. So even though it is online, we have so many different elements to our program that each feel different. And you have a full schedule of enriching activities that we've developed over these many years that you spoke about, Rob. Everything from brain boosters to current events, naming that tune, really fun and engaging activities that also stimulate the mind. In addition to this full schedule of activities, 5 days a week, up to twice a day, you'll be able to log on and really have a full day and a community. And that community for so many people is really what keeps them coming back. It's kind of like going to the gym. You know that it's helpful and you want to do it for that benefit, but you also keep coming back for more because you're going to see your friends and you know you're going to have that feeling of community and purpose. But you will get that cognitive stimulation therapy once a week. You will also have the opportunity to join on for support groups. And then, like I said, we will also be integrating brain health components. So you will be logging into a Zoom room with your peers with exciting content and trained facilitators up to 5 days a week.
You know, one of the bright spots that came out of COVID, if there are any bright spots, is the fact that we all learned how to get online and use Zoom, and it has become a great tool. And because this program is delivered virtually, that means you don't necessarily have to live in the Central Texas area to participate. Anyone from anywhere can be a part of this program.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about cost. Is there a cost to the program? And if so, what do you get for the cost? Yeah,
so it's a subscription program. So it's a monthly fee that includes everything we've discussed. Start at $120 is the full price for the program, but we are a nonprofit. We are here for the community and we do not want finances to stand in the way. So there's a generous sliding fee scale that's easy to apply for. It's based on income, and we have folks paying as low as $12 a month for this program and all that it entails. And it does entail a lot. We've got cognitive stimulation therapy, our support groups, our brain health. We have our full-time, our 5-day-a-week enrichment schedule, as well as the personalized support of the staff members of Memory Connections to help navigate so many new questions and concerns that come up during this time, as well as opportunities for in-person socialization from time to time. So it's really a lifestyle wraparound program that can be a life changer and be a game changer.
And for the cost, you know, you're getting so much. You're getting multiple hours per month of programming. You're getting things to do at home. You're getting connections to other experts who can assist you. And of course, you know, all of the other programs that are available from Age of Central Texas, both for the older adult and for the family caregiver. Yes. And we need to always remember, you know, the family caregiver is a big part of the success in this program, because they're the one who is providing that assistance as we get older. I've spoken before on these podcasts. I take care of my parents that live independently, but the reason they're able to is because I support them. Mm-hmm. And so I help them with a lot of their daily activities so that they can continue to live independently. And we know that approximately 40% of the general population is doing the same thing. And so not only do we have programming that supports the caregiver, but also specific to this program, you've got some supports for the family members and for the caregivers as well to help make this as you said, a wraparound, the whole community supporting everyone that's involved in this family situation.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. The caregivers are as much a part of this program as our participants who are experiencing cognitive changes. And the support groups that we offer two separate support groups, one for our participants and one for their care partners. And that wraparound support that we provide, that individualized support, planning meetings, is often within conversations between staff members and care partners. And in addition, we definitely encourage the use of Caregiver U, the incredible program of Age of Central Texas, which provides classes for caregivers to take care of their person, their family member, their loved one, as well as themselves.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, Caregiver U is another program of Age of Central Texas that we have been running for almost 12 years that offers free caregiver classes, both in person and virtual, across the 4-county region. And that's ongoing throughout the entire year. And you can find a class that's near you by going to caregiverucentx.org. And Anna, I want to thank you so much. One last question. If someone is interested in this program, how can they become enrolled?
Absolutely. So we have a few ways to get in touch with us. We are available by email at memoryinfo@ageofcentraltx.org. At the website of Age of Central Texas, we have an inquiry form on the Memory Connections page that's easy to submit. And you can always reach me directly at 512-763-2148. Please feel free to give us a call at 512-763-2148. We'd love to speak with you.
Anna, thank you so much for sharing this information. It's very exciting that we came out of COVID with not only this program intact, because it originally was started as an in-person program, and then with COVID, we had to switch to virtual so that we could continue providing the service. And then the lessons that we learned from that allowed us to expand it even further. And now we have added the cognitive stimulation therapy to the program, which makes it a very robust program. And what you and your staff are doing is just amazing to help those of us who have a diagnosis of memory loss or cognitive impairment, that we can do something about it. Because, you know, when we go to a neurologist and the neurologist tells you, yes, that's what's happening, that's a very scary thing.
Yes.
And knowing that there is something that I can do about it, that I don't have to just sit around and wait for it, that I can do something to slow that progression and add so much more vibrancy to my life, is game-changing. So
absolutely,
it's such a wonderful program. So I thank you so much.
And we're very proud and very excited to step into this next stage.
And, you know, we want to thank you as well for watching this video. And as we always say, remember, there is never any shame in asking for help, because all of us need help at some point in our life, and especially when we've had a diagnosis like this. It's not something that we have been trained to handle, we're not prepared for, and that's why experts like Anna and those here at Age of Central Texas are here to help you in that journey, to help you find the solutions and the resources to make it easier for you. So we hope that you'll please reach out to us if you need to. We thank you once again for joining us. We hope that you have a great day. And remember, we are here every month with a brand new Aging Answers podcast. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.